Welcome to Audience First, a podcast for tech marketers looking to break out of the echo chamber to better understand their audience and turn them into loyal customers. Every week, Danny Wolf has brutally honest conversations with busy tech buyers about what really motivates them, the things they hate that vendors do, and what you can do about it. Get access to practical information on how to build authentic relationships with your audience. Listen to and talk with your buyers, and apply real customer insights to your strategies and tactics. You owe it to the world to unmute your mic. Are you ready?
All right, welcome back to another episode of Audience First. This is going to be an incredible one, probably my favorite one of the year, because we are going to be talking about all things RSA, the truths, everything you need to know before you go. And I have a very special panel on with me today, but I'm not going to do any justice introducing everybody. How about we go around the table and you guys tell me, who are you, what do you do, and why the hell do you do it? Starting from Mr. Barron.
Yeah, so I'm Clark Barron. I'm founder and CEO of Ronin, which is a GTM agency exclusively within the cybersecurity space. I got into this because I'd always romanticized red teaming and pen testing like years ago. It was always the coolest thing ever. I mean, once you realize it's just a bunch of paperwork, but yeah, I love the mission. Happy to be here.
All right, George.
Hi, everyone. My name is George Alcora. I'm the Chief Information Security Officer at Ruby Life. Why do I do what I do? When I left the Army, I really needed a job, and then it turned into a career, which spun out of a passion. So really, all I want to do is chase bad guys and protect good folks and good enterprises. And I have an opportunity to do that in this career. So I am blessed to be here.
All right, Chase.
Yep. So Chase Cunningham, Dr. Cunningham, if you want to be formal. Dr. Zero Trust is the online moniker, whatever that matters. I work at G2 and do software analysis review for them. And I'm also the co-founder of a company called DemoForce. And I've been going to RSA since RSA was like 35, 50 people in a room where everybody, drank crappy coffee and it smelled really awful. So yeah, this is the first year in like 13 years I haven't been selected to speak. So I guess they finally got sick of me.
We'll talk about that. Elliot.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So I'm Elliot Volkman. I've got two titles, I guess, right now. I am one of the directors of marketing over at Drata, which is a GRC company. And I am also the producer for Adopting Zero Trust and actually 3 other podcasts. We're not going to talk about that, though. I got into this space for many of the similar reasons that we've got here, especially Clark and I align. We're in a mission-oriented space. We get to help people. We save people money. We save grandma and grandpa from giving away their life savings. Why wouldn't you want to do that and, also get paid pretty well at the same time? So that's why I'm here.
You're getting paid for this?
Well, not this part. I mean,
Okay.
I'm definitely a negative cash flow for my stuff. But
I was going to say, yeah. Who do we send the invoice to? Because
All right. I love it. I love having you all here today on an early morning. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a fun episode. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, but we're going to hopefully end on a positive note. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all next week. Mine is Clark. Unfortunately, Clark, I think he's going on vacation of sorts.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he's the honorary RSA. We'll get a cutout. I think that's on you, Elliot, to get a cardboard cutout of Clark going. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good time. RSA is such a great opportunity to network and to see folks and friends. But let's dive right in. I would love to know from all of you if you could give one piece of advice to somebody who would like to go to RSA but cannot, or alternatively are going this year. Even better, I think. What would you give them? Not all at once.
All right, I'll jump in.
Make a plan.
Make a plan.
Absolutely make a plan. Know where you want to go. Know what you want to see. Like find out. Like do as much recon on the event. Who all is going to be there? it's like going to Disney World. Like, plan out your rides and how you're going to spend the day, like whatever tracks you're going to, because if you stray from your own itinerary too much, the entire week, like you're gonna get off track and not be able to see or do anything or talk to anybody you want to.
Yeah, that's a pretty good plan. I think the reality is you'll see like a bunch of stuff come up and it'll totally derail things. So that's usually a good idea to be able
Yeah,
to prioritize.
fair
Like
enough.
these are the things I need to go to, and then everything else is nice to have.
I think it's
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead, Chase.
No, you go. You go. I'm sure yours is way more insightful than mine.
Oh no, man. I'm about those who can't go because it's my first RSA, and I always on the sidelines, and like every employer I had was like, "No, you can't go to San Francisco. Stay in Ottawa." So in my dealings in that, I always really just tried to find what were the most insightful kind of things coming out of RSA. So typically new product releases if they came out. If there are really good keynotes, I tried to get a hold of those online. Usually stuff's posted online, so that's really good resourcing to have. And generally, if there are we'll call it emerging stars, like folks come to these things and you just notice that they pop up all over your feed, all over Twitter, all over LinkedIn. If they have something interesting to say and they had some good keynote, those are the kind of people you want to connect with. Or even if their inbox is full and you're just another number or another name in the list, engage with them online, engage in the comments. Just know that this is someone that you want to talk to, and as you build those friendships up, consider the people that you want to meet when you go someday, because you will go someday. Confirm that, affirm that to yourself, whatever you believe in, but know that you want to go there. Like Clark was saying, there are folks I want to meet. Figure out who that list is while you're sitting on the sidelines.
That's great. My advice is like, don't get shit faced day one, because that's like people show up and then they're just drinking fish bowls of booze or whatever, and they're at the vendor parties and
How long
it
did that
just,
take? 2 minutes
oh yeah,
for us
yeah.
to get there?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody had to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, you land and you get off the plane, and the first, like, have you not left your house? I mean, COVID was over a couple years ago. You can go outside and drink. Like, do that on your own. This is not the time to exercise your liver reps, because it just is going to go sideways for you. Like, I don't want to have to tell grown people whatever, but I mean, that's just my advice.
But sometimes you do.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy, right? Sometimes you do have to handle them, but just don't do that for a lot of reasons, including your safety. Like, San Francisco, unfortunately, is not a safe place at night, especially if you're drunk. Like, you might get rolled by some meth head that thinks you got money, and it can get real bad real fast. I'm a big dude, and I had two guys a few years ago like try and rob me when I was walking back from Moscone. And if you're like some small person that's shit-faced drunk, bad things can happen to you. So just be aware. And the vendors aren't there to like be your homies. The vendors are there hoping that you'll get wasted, because then they can try and sell you shit you don't need. Like, that's just how it goes.
I want to kind of touch on what George said, by the way. I love what you said. And I didn't know it was your first RSA, by the way. So this is going to be fun. Is there a reason why it took you some time to get there? Because you've been in the CISO role for a while now. So what kind of transpired there?
I think, unfortunately, so RSA is really, really, there are some global organizations that sends folks from all over the world, but for a lot of mid-sized shops, in Canada or in other countries, you really don't get to have a lot of representation there because it's an expensive trip. San Fran, the flights are expensive, the hotels are expensive, and plus, you got to take a few days off work to do something where you're probably completely disconnected from your work environment. So, for a lot of organizations, you know, you really have to talk about return on investment. And that goes back to the conversation of return on investment on conference events. So, it's not just me being like, cool, I want to go network other security leaders. It's like, hey, there are, really good emerging technologies right now. We are post the AI revolution. We are trying to figure out what's going to happen in terms of MFA, because MFA is becoming redundant. There are a lot of pressing security issues, and it's really important right now to justify, hey, I need to know what other people are doing. Right. So I'm lucky enough to be at an organization where my CIO and my ownership understand that, hey, we need to do this. But that return on investment of going to the conference, I mean, admittedly, it's taken me a bit of time to figure out the pitch, but once I did, now I know what to do. And I think a lot of folks are kind of in a similar boat where you want to go, you see the cool thing, but how do I get my ownership to approve the funding to go? Well, I mean, sometimes you might have to pay out of pocket, but you got to figure out what the ROI use case is for your specific organization and what RSA actually be useful for you.
Sounds like somebody in the background wants to join the conversation too. Whose dog was that?
That's Ogre. I wouldn't be on a call if he didn't show up. Like the little bastard. I don't know.
I love that. I think what I would say is if you're in a position where you can't go to RSA for potentially, I would say, reasons that the organization that you're working for doesn't allow you, sit on their throats to get you to go to RSA. If you're sitting in a marketing position or a digital, let's say digital marketing position, I've sat in that position where I had to manage everything behind the keyboard for the folks going to RSA. Insist that you should be at RSA because that's the greatest, I think, networking event that there is. I mean, there are so many people there, right? There are a lot of great offsite opportunities to meet folks. Insist that you go. It took me a good 4 years until my CMO let me go to an event, and that was Black Hat. And I'm so thrilled that they allowed me the opportunity to go. To your point, George, I had to make the case why I should go. So set up the case why you should go. What's the impact that you're going to make? If you're managing the website, or if you're managing positioning and messaging, or if you're managing community, go talk to people and ask them what it is that they do, why they do it, what do they like, what do they not like, establish those connections. Let's get into the juicy part of the conversation. And I always like to vent, rant, bitch, moan on Audience First podcast. So if you could scream into the void or rant about anything RSA or even security events, what would you scream?
Ooh.
Chase is full of hate. You should start.
Yeah.
Hate and discontent. Yeah. I mean, this year I would be screaming, it's not AI. Like that would be my thing, is just,
Yeah.
It makes the level of rage that I have with everyone tagging this stuff with AI for a whole lot of reasons makes my blood boil. And I'm seriously considering drop kicking the first person that says our solution is an AI powered whatever, because it's not AI, and you're screwing up the market and you're misleading people and they're not going to get your solution and the value proposition is diluted. It's just so wrong. But I guarantee you're not going to walk 8 feet. You won't be able to use the pisser without seeing an AI sticker somewhere this year.
I think of that in the same way that in marketing, there's a lot going on where take the word influencer, for example, like B2B influencer marketing, that can work really, really well. And there are some people that are doing some cool things, but no one's going to pay attention to it unless everybody stops saying the word influencer. I think about AI in the same way, stop talking about it, because everybody that thinks that they have something that's actual AI is setting a precedent, and the expectation of the audience is going to be, this is bullshit. It's not so it really muddies the waters for anything that could actually innovate in the space.
I almost want to ask, are we going to start taking bets on how much AI we're going to see on the expo floor?
If you took a
that's a losing
shot
bet.
for every time you saw AI, someone would die before they got into the Moscone.
You'd be dead by lunch. Yeah.
But look,
maybe at the continental breakfast.
It's just look, man, it's just like Black Hat, right? When Zero Trust came out, because I was going to Black Hat at least, all you'd see are people talking about Zero Trust, and you're like, all right, well, what does that mean to you? And the pitches were just garbage. It was all just marketing speak. And I love you marketers, don't worry, Danny. But it was marketing speak, and I'm like, cool, right on. I can't find the value proposition of that. I don't know why you're different from the 20 other vendors who are just putting up gimmicks and stuff and talking about Zero Trust. And I think that's the case with AI, because I go up to companies now and I'm like, cool, what do you guys do with how do you guys train your models? How do you guys actually secure your data? What's the segmentation on it? Like, you ask them any question beneath the surface and they fucking scramble. They're like, oh shit, let me get my engineer.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love that. Let me get Rick. Let me find Dave. Like,
it's like the one dude and he's entertaining like 20 people with 20 different questions. And you're like, all right, like, you guys are a fucking joke. Like, I don't want to deal with this. So I'm anticipating a wave of bullshit marketing. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll find one or two shops that actually have an innovative solution that's worth actually following up with.
But see, that's not
Alternatively,
even just an AI thing, right? That's in every flashy new buzzword thing. It was zero trust.
Yep.
It's, defense and depth, it's all these different things. But if it's technologically aligned, it's even easier because it's called lazy marketing. I know Chase and I have chatted about this in this branding course, but this is a massive failure from a branding and positioning standpoint. Because if you're not creating something that differentiates, like, what's even the point? This is DG teams and revenue teams that are just pouring hundreds of thousands of dollars in these flashy booths. You slap a little AI in there, a couple of colors, some cyber blue. That's it. That's how they do it. But there's no differentiation. So whatever AI is this year, it's going to be something else next year. Maybe we'll still see a little more AI, but yeah, it's just a massive failure on messaging and positioning, and it's always going to be that way.
is cyber blue like an actual color? Because if so, I would kind of like to find that color.
Oh, it definitely is.
Okay.
I don't want to peel at some people that I work with, but there's been conversations. Like, go look at most startups. It's not just a cyber blue. It's almost like every startup will have some layer of blue. It's like a technology blue.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I think
Like,
now that you've said it, I actually start seeing it in my mind, and I'm like, oh yeah,
You
that is a
definitely
thing.
have,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a thing. I got it. Yep.
Well, let's peel back positioning and messaging at RSA just a little bit. So, in your opinion, what would be kind of a good way to present your message at the booth? Like, take me through some prescriptive steps for folks who are going. I mean, they already invested and printed and did all that, all the shenanigans with the booths, but how can they best prepare themselves to present their solutions on the expo floor and offsite, by the way?
I love this question because I'm going to say forget the script entirely. You're there to connect with people. And if you're going off a script, like, does that even work in cold calling or emails or any of that? You'll get a certain percent because it'll connect, but you want to meet a person, understand what they actually care about, what their problems are. Same thing with every other kind of marketing and sales component, but that's what it should be. So, yeah, understand exactly what you offer and bring to the table and the outcomes that it delivers, but just connect with people, have a conversation, because otherwise, you're just hoping the booze gets you through the day, I guess.
Well, I mean, unless you are, and I hate to use the terminology, like strictly a booth bunny, like you're contracted to market on and promote for the event, but you know nothing about the industry, and like that happens. They have pretty people who are there just to attract people looking for pretty people, and like that's not actually fine and good. That we really need to stop that practice. I would say though, if you are a junior marketer or a junior practitioner who is put up to the booth, learn like 3 to 5 actual use cases of your product that you can speak to in your own words. Just that's all you need. Give me 3 to 5 use cases that you can kind of talk to, that you can get a little bit excited about, and just be like, hey, once you reach that point in the conversation that you're at your limit, then logically you'll be like, cool, why don't we set up a follow-up afterwards? And then you have that warm lead. You have the opening there. And all you had to do was memorize 3 to 5 use cases of the thing that you're actually employed to do. It would be great if that would happen.
A lot of times marketers feel the pressure to perform, and so like to the same group of people that you're addressing, there is no shame in saying I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell them that you don't know, because you're going to damage the possibility for whatever that interaction is becoming an opportunity at some point if you're just making shit up as you go, trying to sound informed when you are not. Because not only do you not know what you're talking about at all, the person you're talking to doesn't know either way. So they could think that whatever you're saying that's very incorrect about your product is the truth. What else do they have to go on? So they're taking your word for it. You could screw up something just instantly by thinking you have to be but the switch marketer, hey, turn it on and just perform the whole time. See that it shows all the time where you're like, man, just be a human being for a minute. It's cool if you don't know. Just find out the answer.
But so what's a good follow-up to I don't know? And does that impact credibility that they don't know, George Chase?
I would give somebody 1,000 times more credibility if they looked me in the face and said, I don't know, but I'm going to find the answer and give me your email and I'll get back to you. I would be like
100%.
1,000% cool. The moment that it starts spinning off into like market speak and Klingon verbiage of whatever the fuck they do, I'm like, dude, man, I gotta go. It just spirals downward from there, because for some of us, like, that's blood in the water. And then I know that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And because I have nothing to do for the next 30 minutes, I'm just gonna gut you technically, because I know the answer. So, don't, like, you're like Clark was saying, like, for some of us cheap, petty, vindictive people like myself, like, I'm just gonna fuck with you because I can, because I don't have anything to do for 30 minutes. No one else will admit that. I will, but there's always like the.
And if you're a marketer at a booth and Chase does that to you, take your medicine. Just take your medicine.
Go to demand gen therapy. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation in therapy there. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Especially after next week.
All right. Any other rants, vents, bitches, or moans?
Yeah, just one thing. All right, so we know we gotta do the badge scan thing. That's cool, right? And you guys are gonna solicit us afterwards. That's all right. Just like, don't do the solicitation email. That's expected, but don't sit there and then email me time for 6, 7, 8 months afterwards, every couple weeks, and then you start getting into the guilting of like, oh, I guess this isn't important to you, blah, and you're like, okay, not only are you annoying me with these emails, but you're also being a pretentious asshole. And I don't like it. Like, if you send me the email and you send me the follow-up and I don't get back to you, and you send me another follow-up a few weeks later and I still don't get back to you, I've probably seen it and I just don't want to talk to you. I have no reason to talk to you. So let it go, right? I know you have to do the thing. You got to play the game where we scan the badges and you do the follow-up emails. Great. I'm sure you get your points or whatever for the interaction. But for the love of God, be a human being and stop sending me automated emails and shit months later, because I'm going to hate you and I'm going to hate your company more. And you guys might have a good solution, but out of spite, fuck you.
Okay, slight counterpoint to that. Like, I have to say this. Like, George, absolutely love everything you're saying. Totally agree with you. However, from the perspective of folks that are trying to get software in front of folks that are prospective buyers, and you have the dudes back there on the Viking ship just beating the fucking drum and whipping you if you don't get enough out there. Like, if you're the CISO or you're the target and you know you're a target, take 8 seconds out of your day and send an email back. And this is literally the email I send people. I'm not a buyer. I'm not interested. Please stop contacting me. Done. And like, you can, like, that is just, you talk about being a human, and I believe this, like, for real. But if you just ghost people and expect them to go away, they're not going to. Take 10 seconds out of your day. Because for me, like, I'm demo forces rolling and we're trying to sell software. I despise it when somebody just ghosts me when I know that they need to just send me an answer. And your answer could totally be, Chase, go fuck yourself. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, I hate your face and you're stupid and I wish you didn't have children. I would take that and roll.
Because a lot of those
me is so much worse.
I mean, no is faster, but okay.
Yeah.
I got thick skin. I don't care if you tell me to fuck myself. Like, whatever.
It's free therapy. Come on.
Sorry, Clark. Go ahead.
Oh, no. A lot of those automated sequences, are completely automated, and the only thing that will change any of it, unless there's a specific rule written, is you taking some kind of action, like opening, replying, whatnot. So if you just, for anybody out there that's on that side of things, if you do nothing, it's never going to stop. Like, from a market, I know it's going to be wild for a marketer to say this. Here's a pro tip. Before you leave to go to RSA, create a folder for anything that says RSA in the email and just isolate it, and then check it once a month if you want to, because it is going to be blasted.
It's not a bad idea, because I've gotten some good resources from post RSA emails. But again, I'm not a buyer, but I like that piece of advice. I think for me, it's and again, Clark, we talked about it last night on bingo, which by the way is fucking awesome. I love the bingo card. Maintain eye contact. When you're so I'll talk about the expo floor. I'll talk about offsite. And then I want to talk about post RSA. So on the expo floor, like maintain eye contact because everybody is so obsessed with the badge that's like right here. So they'll look at your tummy the whole time. It's kind of weird. Just look at me. Hey, my name is so and so. The other is if somebody says no thank you at your booth, don't try and reel them in. Just like leave them the fuck alone. And then if they say I'm not interested, just stop. I know some people just continue the rant and like don't hear, just listen, listen to a yes or a no. And then I think offsite, echoing what you said, Chase, is don't get drunk because it gets so dumb. It gets so dumb. And then people start harassing you and like getting way too close for comfort.
Like give me my bubble, man. Like
it gets really awkward and it is not a good, and it gets very loud, which, okay, it's to be expected. You have like 40,000 people there, but like behave.
Be a grown person.
Yes,
that's one thing.
Behave.
So I will say this though, and I'm not advising anyone to do this, but I have done it 2 years ago, last year, whatever it was. I got so tired of people scanning my badge and harassing me that during a break, I went back to my room and I scanned the QR. I built a QR code to go to Pornhub and I overlaid it on my badge. So then everyone that scanned my badge got a link to Pornhub. It was awesome to see the faces of folks that like with the little phone thing, they'd scan it and all of a sudden it was two people going at it. And I'm going like, I told you not to scan me, but you did it anyway.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm also going to have to mark this NFSW as well. So
another thing, like on the floor and just the relentless booth people that are trying to scan your badge, a message to all the marketing leaders out there: do not goal the people that are working there on things that promote that type of behavior. Because if a marketer or a salesperson or whoever at the booth is being goaled on the number of badges that they scan, they're going to chase people down. Here, can I scan you? Can I scan? Can we just go get a bunch of?
They'll go run over the tenderloin and start scanning people. Like, hey,
anybody and everybody. And like on the marketing side, like we've got our own war going on over like MQLs and being gold on different things. But that's where that type of used car salesman behavior comes from, is because if they don't, then they're going to get the book thrown at them.
So Danny, just one sec. Friends, I'm sorry, and listeners, I'm sorry. I am an active CISO. I have a technical call right now. So I will say, first of all, Chase, that is amazing and hilarious. I'm friends with the CISO at MindGeek. That is the parent company for Pornhub. He's a buddy of mine. He will love it. I'm going to tell him about it. And anyone,
I sent him a lot of traffic a year or so ago. So.
Oh dear God!
please
personal traffic, right? Yeah, there it
goes. Speaking of mental health, please come to Mind Over Cyber on Tuesday. It's going to be a great event. Danny's going to be there. I'm going to be there with my podcasting mate, George Kamid. It's going to be an awesome time. Mental health and awareness. This is the year. Please, everyone, be there. I will see you there. And I have to go now run my head against the wall, as is the duty on a CISO on a Monday morning. So peace out.
This is how we roll. George. Thanks, George.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
So I want to talk about also kind of a broader question. We talked and we bashed vendors a lot now, which is to be expected on this podcast and in general in our industry. But I kind of want to talk about the broader problem. I mean, what do you think or let me rephrase that question. What is the one thing, or it could be 2, 3, 4, whatever. What is the thing you felt I can't even get this fucking question right down today. What is wrong with me? What is the thing you've always felt? Nope, still can't get it right. Hold on, what did I write here?
The suspense is killing me now.
Yeah. Don't cut this.
Oh, please don't cut this.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. I can't cut. No, I won't cut it. We're raw here. What is the thing you've always felt like was wrong in the cybersecurity space and maybe haven't vocalized it?
Just one?
Yeah.
I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How much time we got?
whatever. So I mean, I got all the time in the world. We can go all day.
I mean, I'll
I
throw the easy one out, which is like the people in this space just don't give a shit, and they're hiring people who don't give a shit. I get it. It is a job from the marketing perspective. It is a job. You go there. You're there to sell and build brands and drive awareness. But like for the people doing this, it's hard to say that this is just a job for them, especially at the security leader level. They are protecting people. They are now going to jail or being potentially in those legal situations. And if we're just treating it as something that you just show up to and you're just trying to sell into these people and you don't give a shit at all, it's just not the right industry for you. That is my take. And yes, you can survive in it to an extent, but go get like the ICS or whatever CC certification. It's free. Go do some of those free certification, read some blogs, care about it. And I think that is the bare minimum that you can do to survive and be part of this industry.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a mission driven industry that it's funny because I don't know when marketing leaders are going to realize that when you're hiring, especially like ICs that just, you know, maybe it's their first gig in the industry or whatnot, but you can tell right away who gets it and how this space is very different and who doesn't. And those people don't last long at all. And so there's got to be a better way to is it in the interview process? Is it in how we recruit on our side? Like there's got to be some other way to figure out who gets it and who doesn't. You know, the things you can teach versus the things you can't.
I think it's the VCs that for me, like that's where this whole industry has
Oh,
spiraled
let's go.
horribly
Yes,
out of
let's
control.
go.
Yeah.
We,
Like
we,
it,
we don't got
this is
enough.
my
We don't got
Super
enough
Bowl.
time.
uh,
We don't got enough time for that conversation. But yeah,
I mean,
unpack that a little bit.
yeah. So like back forever ago, I'm putting, and yes, I have gray in my beard, so I'm a gray beard, I guess. But like Clark, yours is still good looking. You're still young and vibrant and all. You know, it gets older and your kids suck the life out of you, and you look like me. You know, so yeah. So I think the VCs skewed everything pretty horribly once they realized that this is a place where there's a lot of money being thrown and it's kind of rinse and repeat. You can do it all day long. And oh, by the way, if you happen to have swept the floors at 8,200 in Israel, you're worth $100 million. Like they've thrown so much money into this that it's basically, if you got an idea and a PowerPoint, you can get a $15 million funding round and start your business at RSA. And they don't have a product. They don't have a real line on what they're doing. It's just like word vomit going into the space and they're following along with the rest. And if it goes wrong, they go back to the VC and go, look, we need a little bit more juice so that we can put it on this system. Like I for the life of me still don't understand why companies come out Series A, $15-30 million.
Right.
Like if I was a VC, maybe it's because I grew up in, redneck Texas where we didn't have money. But if I was a VC and I'd be taking care of my money, I would make sure that a company could land customers and grow and all their stuff was on point before I ever gave them a nickel. And then it would be like, look, here's $1 million. And if you prove to me that you can make this $1 million into something, great, we'll do it on the farm. But that's not how they do it. They just go, oh, cool. Kentucky Windage, you've got some stuff, you've got some POCs, some customers, whatever. How much money would you like? And ready, roll. And then you wind up with the folks that shouldn't be leading, to be perfectly frank, are leading because they were the folks that were there when the doors open. And that's usually where they spend so much time, like ice skating uphill.
Okay,
Sick burn.
Remind me, Chase, to unpack that with you on a separate episode because that's like legit.
What's really fucked up is I'm actually doing an event at a VC office, so they'll probably throw me out now. But
oh, okay. I mean, we could
It's not all of them, right? There's some that actually understand.
There's some that are good. There's some that are legit. Yeah. But like I think that's where it went horribly wrong from somebody that's been like, I came out of Fort Meade in the NSA and I saw this when it was really starting out. We used to call this information assurance before it was even cybersecurity. And then the first VC that showed up and was like, here's all our money. And things went sideways quickly.
echoing what you said, Elliot, I kind of agree with you there, but I want to know, like, why do you think that is? Why do you think that there aren't folks that are in this space that, they're not in it for the right reasons per se?
Yeah, I
Dollars.
mean, I think that yeah, no, it's
The root of all
a
evil.
high tech thing, and alluding back to what Chase just said, there is so much money here. People thinks
Mhm.
it's a cash grab. They're also
Yeah.
seeing on the other side that like there's these cool factors of like people wearing their hoodies and they're being hackers and all that. And very little of actual day-to-day work in cybersecurity is any of that. It's so much documentation and grueling and tiring, burn you out. And on the flip side, we're selling into those people who are all burnt out and tired, and they're just trying to get through the day, trying to keep the company from, having incidents or, whatnot. But I think when you're entering the space, it's fine to not have that passion or understanding because you're just entering it. You're there. That makes sense. But I think when you're at like a senior manager level and up, certainly like director and higher, you need to have some understanding of this space. And I'm not speaking to anyone that I work with now, to be very clear, but I've worked for a lot of startups where there are just people that have been in high level tech jobs. They've brought them in to lead things and they will go, hey, let's just attack the CISO. Let's just sell the CISO. And like they have nothing to do with the process. So just as Georgia mentioned, it brings so much confusion and distraction and a lack of understanding alongside just a lack of passion and caring for the space. So I think if you're going to be in the space, which is highly specialized, highly technical people, they will just eat you alive. So the passion is sort of an outcome or a philosophy that comes along with it. But if you don't care about it, they will just devour you.
Yeah. I just want to say last year, I just came off an event in Dallas, the CISO XC conference, which was fucking incredible, seriously. And I sat for a good 2 hours anonymously interviewing some CISOs about, you know, them, about themselves. And the amount of passion that they have is just incredibly, how do you say,
Infectious.
yes,
Inspiring.
100%.
Right?
It's inspiring, it's infectious. And I feel like us, who sit on the GTM side, if we don't have that, a similar level, at least, a fraction of that, passion, it ain't going to go well because you're just not going to resonate with them. They're just so into this. I mean, like some actually teared up because they really care about this fucking industry. It's really inspiring to see, which is why I say to a lot of folks coming into the space, like, it's not like any of other vertical you've worked for. Just hands
I
down,
would
it isn't.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. The one thing, like the one thing I would say though, is that like on the GTM side of things, I would argue that you don't necessarily have to be um, passionate in the same sense that in the same ways that they are. You just have to be an empathetic human being, and you can understand why someone would do what they do in this industry. That to me is uh, perhaps even more important. If you're just that type of person that gives a shit, and that's the thing about folks on the GTM side of things in this industry. You can teach people how to do marketing all day, every single discipline within it. You cannot teach people to give a shit.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I love it. Okay, let's flip it to end on a positive note. Um, what's got you hopeful this year at RSA?
I mean, I genuinely enjoy getting to see all the people that I don't see during the year because I mean, we spend most of our time on keyboard and on pause, so that's always cool. I love the RSA Innovation Sandbox. Like that's the first place I go, and I spend the majority of my time there, just because you do see companies that are doing cool things that haven't sold their soul yet, and then you basically can figure out which ones will be absorbed by the board quickest, based on market adoption or whatever. But those are the things for me that are super interesting and super cool. I wish they would move it out of San Francisco just because I literally don't feel that it's safe for people anymore. But hopefully that's sideways. And then this year was cool because we raised money for charity. Even if I have to end my career at Moscone, then so be it. But we did raise money for charity, so that's good. We get to cut veterans charity like a $10K check. So
Nice. Bravo.
Awesome.
Anything on your part, Elliot?
Yeah, I am so ready to go see Dead Mouse Clark. Man, I can't even tell. No, I'm just kidding.
Get out.
Hey, all right.
Get out.
I just had to do it. All right. As someone who also builds conferences, it is the intangible. So I love going and hearing from people because it is very hard to get a speaking opportunity there. So if they're going to be putting their information and their expertise out there, usually it's pretty top-notch stuff. But outside of just the content and information that you absorb, it is just meeting all these random people. And as someone who builds conferences, like, yes, the content is important, but being able to find time to connect with people, build those relationships, you have no idea what doors those will open. I will say some of the biggest deals that I've ever seen close out of RSA have come from conversations at bars, not at your booth. Now, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
there's not, but those intangibles are just sparks that naturally happen when you bring 30, 40,000 crazy people into the same area.
That's why a better use of your funds is walking the floor and just spreading out as much as humanly possible rather than dumping 100 grand plus on a booth. That's
Well,
that's
I mean, the ones who actually have the purchasing power are a fraction are actually just going to scan the floor. They're not really there. They're off site talking to people and having meetings.
right.
I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys there. I started going just because I wanted to connect with folks and see what's up. Innovation Center at Black Hat was awesome. Innovation Center at RSA is awesome. So I'm really excited to see the new tech there, but mostly really stoked to see some of the family. We got an Airbnb going with some of the folks that I met at RSA last year. So that's going to be super fun. And then we got, some cool dinners, some cool parties, some cool networking opportunities. That's what it's about. Mostly, I feel like.
And I'm very much looking forward to burying myself in work and completely disassociating while everybody has fun at RSA and I'm not there. That's what I'm looking forward to.
We have to brainstorm, Clark, on how we're getting you out there for the next one. So,
you can go to Hacker Summer Camp in the desert, and it's 107 million degrees or whatever. Yeah.
I'll be at summer camp. I'm in North Alabama. Like, y'all don't know hot.
Yeah. Trust me, I know Fort Rucker. I know hot. So where the mosquitoes basically look like they'll hit you in an artery and kill you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. They're mistaken for planes if they're above you.
They're essentially helicopters with a hypodermic needle on their face. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So you all have some pretty cool projects coming down the pike or already running. So I want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of tell us what you're working on right now and then where people can find you.
Cool. I'll go first because I'm super selfish. So Demo Force is going to be doing stuff. I've got 3 or 4 companies running with us at RSA, so that's cool. We've cracked the code on how to make demos actually not suck. So that's us. And then other than that, I'll be there collecting information and talking about G2 because G2's like Yelp for software. And if you want to know the reality, ask the end users, not the vendors.
And then best way to connect with you?
Find me on LinkedIn. Dr. Zero Trust is easy, or just Chase Cunningham. I'm the only, Chase Cunningham I think I know on there. So it makes it easy.
Elliot, what's going on in your world?
So I've got Adopting Zero Trust, of course, which is in our 3rd something year. It's going surprisingly well. I don't know why people keep letting us talk to them, but it's cool when you see people like Okta just like, hey, you want to chat at RSA? I don't hear from you otherwise. Maybe we'll get some bets on there. Outside of that, we are brewing up a conference of sorts. I was going to name it RSAC to bring in all the rejected speakers from RSA, but I don't know if that would float as well. So eventually we're going to figure out what that looks like. It'll probably be virtual and then we'll bring it down to Charleston next year or something like that. But for now, adoptingzerotrust.com or whatever. Find me on LinkedIn, Elliot Volkman, whatever. That works.
Cool. Clark.
Yeah. So Ronan just released a survival guide, the Unhinged RSA Survival Guide. Go check that out and play RSA Bingo with this. All the ridiculous stuff that you're going to see there, people misusing terms, chasing you down to scan your badges, you name it. You're going to see a lot of really wild stuff there. And Ronin is the agency that helps vendors stop doing that and focus on the things that actually matter and that will drive qualified pipeline.
I love it. And where are people finding you?
You can find me personally on LinkedIn. I that's where I live. That's where I live now, apparently. And then of course check out Ronin at deployronin.com.
I love it, love it, love it. Super thrilled to see you all. Some of our guests here had to drop, but before you all go, we have some exciting things coming up for RSA. George Comedy and I are doing what is it? The third annual. It's officially the third annual RSA. Actually, no, it's the second annual because we did Black Hat the first time. Second annual RSA buzzword bingo plus buyer research report. So we're going to be evaluating all of the booths 100%. Yes, I'm committing to 100%.
I'm so pumped for this.
It's going to be great. We're going to scan all the booths in terms of their messaging. We're going to distill it down. We're going to analyze the booth messaging. We're going to look out for AI. We're going to be surveying an awesome pool of security practitioners to understand what kind of messaging resonates with them, what kind of behavior at events resonates with them, and we're going to be putting out a report after the show. So we're really looking forward to scanning the expo hall. It's going to be awesome. It's not going to kill our feet and backs, but it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, Elliot. Clark, you will be missed. We'll be thinking about you, but next time, my friend.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
And for all of you who are going to the show, if you want to meet with us, hit me up at LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, we could schedule something. My schedule is totally overbooked, but we can figure something out. That's how you do it. Good luck next week, and we will see you at the show. Thanks for joining. This has been another episode of Audience First. We are out.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Audience First. If you like what you've heard, feel free to follow or subscribe to Audience First on Apple, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast streamers.